is all the way down in Australia. And it seems to be something where, so these Christian thugs, they go and harass folks with their fucking chanting and greeting. And I'm like, well, who the fuck are these motherfuckers, right? Like, who are these niggas? And apparently they're the UQ Liberal National Club, UK LNC. And the UQ part is the University of Queensland. All right, so college students. And they seem to be a gang, a club of sorts, because this is not where it starts. Because whenever I see these fucking names, I'm like, who the fuck are these motherfuckers? Right? So one thing I see in their background, so I'm just looking them up and looking at stories that revolve around them. And there's one where they're protesting some shit with like with some Chinese influence on Hong Kong. And I don't know much about the politics of Hong Kong, but from what little bit I am familiar with, it's like one of those fucking white utopias around non-white people where they can just fucking, you know, like basically it's like be colonizers for fun, right? Like there is no need to bring your musket for this one. You don't need to bring a Nina, a Pinta, or a Santa Maria. Just grab a passport, go over there, and have a blast colonizing in the microcosm context of yourself, right? And white people fucking love that about Hong Kong. So they always say protect Hong Kong, but what they really mean is like protect our white power in Hong Kong. That's one where I wouldn't say privilege, I'd say power, our white power in Hong Kong. And so I'm looking at this fucking article, and it's the Guardian Australia edition, and there's a picture up at the top, as articles tend to have, right? And going from right to left, there's one image, and it's got some folks with their hands in the air. It's a still shot, so I can't tell if they're waving them like they just don't care. I hope they are. One of the individuals appears to have completely shaven the old armpits. Maybe that gives you more speed. I don't know. And then in the center picture, right, we're going right to left. In the center picture is a Chinese bloke with a mask over their face with smiling teeth on the mask. And they say in the interview that they're wearing the mask because they still can't be heard. They're just being seen, you know, in the context of this white power. And then on the left, the third image, right to left here, is a white man, like stereotypically white. Like he's the kind of white that made them start using the word white, right? Because they're not really white. They're like this fucking pinkish. They get red, you know, they get orangey. But this motherfucker's white. And combs his hair white, like a business crew cut. And then has on those white glasses that tell me he's going to assassinate someone before he's 40 for the government. Like that's what those glasses tell me, right? Those fucking wide, round frame, very George Bush Sr. with the glasses. And this sort of plaid shirt, and this motherfucker's holding up a sign that says no China extradition, protect the freedom of Hong Kong, which made me want to go up and read a little bit and get my, you know, refreshing myself on the Hong Kong politics, right? And like there is something, I'm going to read a little bit from this person that goes by the name of Lincoln Chang, right? And they dub themselves the native of the concrete jungle. And what Lincoln Chang titled his piece was, well, I don't know their pronouns and all that, but all that love. But they titled their piece, "Are White People Worshipped in Hong Kong?" And let's dig a little bit into this article that Lincoln Chang, Cheng, put up. Quote, "Now I'm going to draw the answer away from sex attraction and relationships because while that is a component of white worship, in Hong Kong, as the OP mentioned," this is responding to an original post, OP, mentioned, it doesn't reveal the full picture. Yes, while there are plenty of local guys who boast about sexual conquest with Western women, and plenty of local girls who can say the same about their white boyfriends and partners, that's definitely not all there is to race relations in Hong Kong, especially when it comes to the Guaylo local slang. Oh, that's a local slang term for white people. So white people are Guaylo, and it's meaning ghost man, because they're as white as that motherfucker holding up that picture, because he is the ghost man. Continuing this article from Lincoln Chang. Sadly, Hong Kong society is still extremely prejudiced when it comes to race, ethnicity, and nationality. And though I would argue that's such a problem of white worship, I don't like the term. White worship, he doesn't like the term. It isn't purely exclusive to Hong Kong. It extends to the rest of the developing world, and even so many parentheses and everything. God, you don't have to just put a comma and put the thing you want to say. You don't have to hide everything in parentheses. In the developing world, be it other parts of Asia, Africa, South America, or even the West itself, it remains a big problem in the city. The bigoted and racist amongst us, Hong Kongers, tend to assign both positive and negative prejudices to people of other races, including their own, not only white people. For instance, it is a common belief in Hong Kong that black people are out there to steal your stuff. They're tall, scary, poor, generally ghetto thugs, and I guess the one positive stereotype would be good teeth? WTF. All right, so that's just a wee bitty boo. I will link that with the post to this episode in winecellarmedia.com, and you can click it and check it the funk out. All right, so we have that, and we have that particular young bloke with that plaid shirt holding up that sign, "No China extradition, protect the freedom of Hong Kong." All right. Now, also interesting in their background, this is coming off of an outlet called Honey Soit, HONI space SOIT, Honey Soit. And the title of this piece, leading up to this, is UK students vote to oppose Ramsay in first general meeting of students since 1971. All right. So what the fuck is this? Again, this is leading up. This is talking about these motherfuckers. Let's go over who they are again. The University of Queensland Liberal National Club. All right. University of Queensland Liberal National Club. So what's going on here is that there's students at the University of Queensland, and they voted in a general meeting to oppose the Ramsay Center for Western Civilizations attempts to set up a degree on their campus. Now, to my understanding, a degree would be so you can learn. Keep in mind, descendants of bloody Britain and maybe some Ireland and Scotland down in Australia, they're trying to set up a degree for them to learn about Western civilization and get a degree for it. The meeting attracted almost 500 whole students, which also saw a successful vote for students to maintain control of the replacement Chonelle Theatre if it is demolished, as has been proposed by the UQ Senate, University of Queensland. The two votes taken at last night's general meeting are the first since 1971, when students voted to go on strike for the duration of the Springboks Rugby Union Tour during the period of South African apartheid. The meeting was called in response to perceived indifference from university management. Students responded resoundingly, with reports of only 8 students voting yes to the question, should UQ accept a deal with the Ramsay Center for Western civilization. All right. So they held the vote and only 8 students voted for it. I can only imagine if Mr. Glasses and Plaid Shirt was among them. The UQ liberals apparently plan to shut down the meeting, and by I think they mean liberals like like Democrats in McMurrica, to shut down the meeting by invoking a section of the regulations stipulating that the student general meetings must cease if 50 students petition the referendum, but they didn't get the 50 signatures. All right. Yeah. Now, amongst those who spoke in favor of the center was Kurt Tucker. I'm sure you can get it phonetically, but Kurttucker, Kurt Tucker, spoke in favor of the Western Civilization Center. And Tucker, for some reason, is the former president of the UQ Liberal National Club, and they resigned in 2017 for a reason that we're going to bring up in another article. You see, you need context, because if you've just been listening to this in your headphones and going about your day, remember, the main thing of this that we know of right now today, from a few hours ago really, was that they, some what I call Christian thugs, harassed parents and children trying to enjoy Drag Queen Story Hour. But what is some background on these people? Wow. This is an outlet called the Brisbane Times. I'm guessing it's probably like local to Australia. I don't really know. But this is interesting. This article is up by Felicity Caldwell. Seems a familiar name. A Liberal National Party official has claimed he would have been a member of Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party if he lived in the 1930s. Hey! Kurt Tucker, the president of the University of Queensland Liberal National Club and an undergraduate representative on the university's academic board, said he would have joined the party, which oversaw the genocide of 6 million Jews. I don't think you need much more from that article, but I will link it anyway. So when I saw that, right, and now let's go back to that picture, the one from when they were talking about Hong Kong and protesting and rallying and whatnot. And there's that very, very pale Ghostface motherfucker, a Ghostface Killer, if you will, holding up that sign, no China extradition, protect the freedom of Hong Kong. And I'm looking at that motherfucker's face. And then I look back at the image from the still shot image and the short video clip of the thugs harassing parents and children trying to enjoy Drag Queen Story Hour. And I'm like, fuck, that's him. Shit. And he's not even noted in the in that old Guardian article. And then I go and look, and I go ahead and look up the name Kurt Tucker and the name of the group, and I don't think that's him. Kurt Tucker looks a bit more portly. Maybe these pictures are old, but also I'm looking at 2 different pictures of him, because not a lot of pictures come up for this particular Kurt Tucker. You end up getting a lot of other people. It's a fairly common white name, and looks like he has on the same damn shirt. Swear to fuck, looks like they have on the same goddamn shirt. So it looks like the same shirt that this person is wearing at what appears to be a happy gathering. And then I look over here with the sign holding up the Chinese thing, and I'm going to link all these in the web post, you folks can look. But the person holding up the sign at the Hong Kong deal, they look to be one of those white people that has some lips. So yeah, and that's a good way. Like if you're confused, like if you think one white person might be another, look at the lips. Some white people have more than others. They're not all lipless. All right. I mean, that's been a running joke with black people forever, but Some of them got some face action. And so I don't think that this person is Kurt Tucker in this video. And I don't want to inadvertently confuse that and make people think that you're following one guy. You're following one group, right? The University of Queensland, Liberal National Club. And so we have that background on these fuckers. But then there's fucking more. An article... abc.net.au, and this is their news, and this is from December 3rd, 2019, not too long ago, and the title of this is Gold Coast Young LNP Members Suspended Over Racist Schoolies Video Posted Online. And we'll go ahead and play some of this audio for you here. So this is them like going around asking people questions, and yeah, it's
the Australian national anthem, the Australian national flag. What do you reckon? Is it something that you like?
Oh, very easy. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Well, there's not too much to say about it. I'm fed up with having all these sports stars stand out on our stages and not sing the national anthem. They're putting our Australian jumper on. They're going to sing the anthem. I mean, we got to stop celebrating a culture that couldn't even invent the wheel, for God's sake. We got to start enjoying and living in Western culture.
All right. And that person who said all that shit, their face is blurred. The other people are not blurred, so he probably did not consent to being on video. But he did consent to putting his voice and words out there, and said that all these sports stars not singing our national anthem, but they're putting on the Australian jumper, which is like a type of clothing where like the pants and the shirt are the same thing, and you just put it all on at once. I'm not really up on the hip new fashion. I don't know, but like to my understanding, that is a jumper. It's basically overalls, but where the straps are complete sleeves. There you go. And so the members who did that, they got suspended over that video. And so that's what we know about them, right? They're obsessed with their white power in Hong Kong. One of them definitely would have been down to be with Hitler's Nazi party. And I mean, the folks who were rolling with him, company you keep and all that love. And then you got folks getting suspended for making racist videos and posting them online. And now, let's head on over to where do we tend to go, pinknews.co.uk. Let's not forget they still have actual journalism over there. I do understand that they do post, you know, the popular culture shit. And I get, as a content creator myself and someone with a website, I get it. Like, you gotta fucking at least note those stories to keep clicks up. You have to keep fucking clicks up. And I think that's like the real work behind it. Cause like I want to do the social justice shit. I hate the fucking, like, I think that shit actually is clickbait. Cause someone clicking that may think that this outlet is going to be a place where they can regularly get pop culture shit. Right? So they're going to click our shit and be like, oh, look, they mentioned Lizzo or Lonely Love on their website. I'm going to subscribe. And then they're going to get climate change and dirty water in Flint, Michigan, and nothing that they actually wanted. So that shit to me kind of is clickbait. All right. So now, pinknews.co.uk. Between 15 and 20 thugs from the University of Queensland Liberal National Club interrupted the event at Brisbane Square Library, where two drag queens were reading stories to children. They entered the event chanting and scared the children. Some parents got them outside the room, where they continued to chant loudly. The event organizers, Rainbow Families Queensland, RFQ, that is the statement they gave to the outlet The Daily Mail. The video footage shows a drag queen confronting protesters as they loudly shout, "Drag queens are not for kids." I shit you not, that's literally what they're doing. Here, let's play some audio from that. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, it said this media could not be played. Looks like I have to go back to that, and there it is. It's back in a very awkward way. Oh, shit. All right, and back after a very uncomfortable cut so that I could get the shit to come up. Yeah, the Twitter video is still there. It just did not want to play. So let's hear that audio now.
Drag queens are not for kids. Drag queens are not for kids. Drag queens are not for kids. Very much. Drag queens are not for kids. The law is not for kids. Drag queens are not for kids. Drag queens are not for kids. You do not have permission to kill me. GPS has been called. You're just gonna hold the camera on my face like that and that's it.
Now this is the funny thing. Like, you can hear someone talking. They're saying, "Yeah, put the camera in my face," and that, but because the camera is recording, it records him deliberately walking up to the camera to say, "Get the camera out of my face." He literally put the camera in his own face so he could say, "Get the camera out of my face." This is the epitome of white mannery. My goodness. And yeah, right there in the shit. I swear to fucker has on the same shirt. I recognize those glasses. I know that's that fucking guy. I don't think that that's Kurt Tucker, but I swear, because I mean, just because you're kicked out of the club doesn't mean you can't still kick it with them. You're just not on the paperwork as one of them. But I think that's the same motherfucker that was holding up that Hong Kong sign, and that's what they're doing out there. Now, a little more from pinknews.co.uk as far as the information. The incident was witnessed by a friend of the Veronicas singer, Jessica Origliasso, who posted on the Instagram afterwards. They said, a good friend of mine took her daughter along to the children's storytelling. And it's an event in Brisbane by two gorgeous drag queens, when a screaming group calling themselves the UK Young Libs stormed the event, causing chaos and distress to children and everybody there. What they did today was add to the bigotry, division, and trauma young children are left to face in today's society. End quote. It's a perfect impression of Jessica Origliasso. Continuing, drag queen story shows are gaining popularity as a fun and educational way to celebrate diversity, giving children a space to see people who defy gender restrictions. But the UK Liberal National Club views such events as moral filth, condemning the drag queens as sick individuals in a statement posted to Facebook. And here's a bit of that statement here. Shame on the Brisbane City Council. What people do behind closed doors of nightclubs is their business, but this event is designed to indoctrinate and sexualize young children. Our kids deserve better than this! Exclamation point. Yeah. A spokesperson for the Queensland Police, the Australian pigs, confirmed that they were called to the library after reports that people were, causing distress at the community event. The thugs left before the police arrived, as, well, gangsters and thugs would find it logical to do. In their defense, the UQ Liberal National Club said that they stayed outside the room where the event was being held. They did not respond to, quote, insults that were hurled at them and left when directed by security. In their defense, the UQ Liberal National Club said that they stayed out. Oh, wait, did they? Goddamn. pinknews.co.uk. Don't put the same paragraph twice. All right, so that's what's going on. It's probably been in your news feeds, and hopefully folks hear this so that they get more background context of what the holy heck darn was going on there. All right, and let's move it on forward. It's winecellarmedia.com, paypal.me/PhoenixandWilliam, patreon.com/winecellarmediafund, and on patreon.com right now you can get early access to our mini-series Black Women in Hip Hop History, which will be Patreon early access through the remainder of January and as we produce it, and then it will be put on the socialized feed starting February 1st. All right? We're having a grand old time over there. Come on.